morning, sweet friends. So it's Friday, which means it's Tour of the Garden Day. I cannot wait to show you how much the garden has grown. I mean, I'm in shock at how much it has grown. I'll start out with the tower. Let's see. So we have some basil growing. The ones I don't know are growing. My marigolds. I can't wait to see what that looks like standing up, because they're the long stem marigolds. So we've got several things getting started in there. My zinnias are popping up in all of my containers. And then look at this zucchini. This one's taken off, and we've just got stair steps, which I'm not upset about. That way we can be harvesting, and then when that one peters out, I can put in another one, and we'll just continue that process. And the onions should be done hopefully not too long after this one on the end gets a little bigger. And let me set my coffee down. I wanted to show y'all this. So my sweet peppers are getting really established. The problem is they're not that big. They're not even a foot off the ground yet, I would say. And so something that I've learned you have to do, which is really hard because you don't want to do this, but you have to pinch off these blossoms, because the energy that the plant is using to produce these blossoms could be going into growing the plant. So I'm going to wait until they get just a little bit bigger before I pluck them off. And I don't know if I should just do it now or if I should wait, but I typically wait until I see the flower before I pinch them off. But that way it's devoting the energy into growing and getting bigger instead of producing fruit, because the plant will be healthier that way. So on a lot of these plants, I go around and I prune them when I see them, because that makes for a healthier plant. And look at these, guys. Oh my goodness, look at these. 2 weeks ago, when I showed you these beans, they were barely popping up out of the ground. They were about that size, if not smaller. And now look at them. I had to put in bamboo sticks so that they would have something to climb, because they were trying to climb each other. So that just blew me away. And then I've got broccoli in like a T shape. And my jalapenos, they're doing the same thing. They're starting, or this one is starting to develop some buds. So I've got to come in and prune off these little bitty flowers, because I really want it to get taller. I don't want it to... It can produce fruit at that age, at this stage, but it's just not ideal. Not if you want more. And they even say that as they grow, the more you pick the fruit, the more fruit you get. So over here, I have been thinning out my carrots so that they'll have space to actually grow. I've trellised my cucumbers so that they can stay off the ground. And anytime you see any dead leaves on them, you also want to prune those off. And there's another flower. So I'll take that off. And guys, I tell you what, the Lord has been pruning me as well. I even went and looked up scripture. And John 15 talks about, you know, Jesus being the vine and us the branches, and how, look at those sunflowers, how tall they're getting. It just makes me so happy. But talked about how he prunes us to teach us and to grow us and to mature us in our spiritual walk. And he is definitely doing that with me this week. Or really my whole life, but I can feel it more this week. And that it's a good thing. Look, that was one of the okras that I germinated. Okra seeds. And it's starting to come up. I don't know about this one over here. I think a cat or a dog jumped in the bed again because I'm seeing footprints. But I wanted to show you my little tomato plants over here. I'd shown you that they were broken and battered, and I've just pushed them further down and they're coming back. Sorry for the noise next door. I hope you can hear me. The school lawnmowers are going. And I didn't realize I'd dropped 2 sunflower seeds so close together, but they're coming up side by side, so I'm probably gonna have to move one. I don't know if it'll transplant, but it definitely doesn't need to be side by side, especially since we've got some tomato plants growing right beside it. And I wanted to show you this okra I was really worried about, but not okra, asparagus, because my dog jumped in the bed and knocked the little end off. And I've only grown asparagus once last year, and then this year is my second time. And I planted it from the crown, so I wasn't sure if whenever he broke the little head off, if it would come up. And then I guess out of survival, it shot up 4. 2 from the same spearhead, and then 2 more. I thought that was very interesting, because all the other ones, it only usually shoots up 1 at a time, or at least last year and this year. The ones that didn't have any damage only have shot up 1 little shoot at a time. So I guess this was survival mode. Oh, look. All of these tomatoes, these blooms. Look how big that bloom is. Isn't that gorgeous? It is so hard to pick these off, but it's so important for the plant. I want it to get a little bit bigger before it actually starts producing any fruit. Oh, it's so hard. Alright, and then my last, I still want to show you the blue tower. I forgot to show you that. But my little tomato plants are just a-growing. Getting longer. I gave one of them some support because it looked really sad. And I don't know if this bed actually gets enough sunlight, because I feel like my tomatoes that are in those cups over there look so much healthier and bigger than the ones that I have. But I also have to remind myself that when I planted these, I took off a lot of leaves and planted them deep. So maybe they're growing at the same rate, you just can't tell because the roots are deep in the ground. But my marigolds are coming up right here. Basil's doing well. My rosemary is still surviving. Can't wait to watch that grow. And my lettuce in the back seems to be getting bigger little by little. And then here are all my extra tomatoes that I have to find little homes for. Look at them. They just look so pretty. They all seem to be doing really well. A couple of them look really strong. So, good thing is if any of these decide to quit on me, I have a few backups. And then here's my tower. It's the last of my plants. So it's growing. Love y'all.